Testing. Okay. We got it. Cool. Yeah, now it's working. I think I had to restart OBS, and I think, oh, let's now see if it can work with VLC running as well. Testing. Okay. Test. Okay. Testing. Test. Testing. Test. Okay. Testing. Okay, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I just had to change that. Okay, now I'm looking for a gloomweed. At least I don't think it's an add-on. No, it's not. Anyway, yeah, messing around with the sound stuff is obviously, you know, kind of distracting, but it's really important because what ends up happening is if I do voice chat, I don't want it to screw up the stream audio. Let's put that in. How about we do this a different way here? I have to have separate. So this should be cable D, and this should be cable B. There we go. Testing. Test. Test. Oh shit. Test. Okay, so if I put this on cable B, then I have this, okay. Okay, and then testing. 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 Oh, because I have it muted. Okay. Never mind. Put this on cable B. Testing, testing. There we go. And then put this on cable D. Double D? Okay, there we go. Test, test, testing, 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 testing. Okay. I already got all the gloomweed. I mean, first of all, I just also need to make all my other chat channels. The general chat gets annoying. Guild chat sometimes gets annoying. And I need whispers separate. And then I need shout. Okay. Okay, now I can just go to party chat and it's nice and chill. I mean, I could always just look at the log. If I truly want silence. Oh, okay, let me just... There we go, now we're good to go. Hey, what's up, NFT? See you lurking in there? Calling you out. I don't know, it's like sometimes I see people join and then I don't know if like I should always say something, because sometimes people just want to be, they don't want to, if they want people to recognize them, they'll chat. It says, well, if you want to stop that, we need to get 1,000 viewers, because Chatterino stops doing that after 1,000 viewers. Then I won't know when people join.
They'll all be mine in the end.
What's this? Gloomweed? I've no need for gloomweed. That mindless mass of flesh is out there picking daisies and convincing the lady knows how many dupes like you into doing the same. No offense. Very well, you're here now, and that's all that matters. Since I'm not going to bother to try to explain things to that abomination, how about you collect what I really need? Doomweed.
That guy wants some weed, man.
The predicament that I am in, adventurer. That thing is out there collecting the wrong deeds. I'll make it worth your while to gather what I need. Bring back to me enough doomweed and I'll give you a suitable reward. It is my understanding that they like to plague the flora near the mass gravesite, to the north of the brown graveyard. Hurry and be mindful of the noise in the area.
Oh, oops. Oh, oops. I forgot to cover the chat. Good thing nothing really weird showed up. You never know what people are gonna say in chat. That's in World of Warcraft. Hmm. Yeah, I don't have Frost Nova yet. That's a huge survivability ability. Survivability ability. We're out here collecting weed. What I get for trying to help someone. Lost thread?
Danger, danger, danger.
Nice. Oh, thanks for the follow, Warris Abedin. God damn it. Really? Set this one again. Oh, it wasn't even in there to begin with. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Basically that that program it sets up my windows. Like for example, if I open up a new Chrome tab, if I open up a new Chrome tab, it'll open in the side window. And then I'll be able to, I have it set so that it doesn't it spawns on the other monitor, but it doesn't lock. And I have this one, so it spawns on the other monitor, but it also locks there, and it locks the size and position. So you can basically just save your streaming like chat windows stuff up, and you can like drag it, and it'll automatically just jump right back to where it was. So it's a really cool app. I really like it. Window manager. Oh, I already finished the quest. I was like, why am I not getting the Doomweed? Okay, let's go back to Brill. I think the general idea is that when you play hardcore, a lot of people try to get, like, they bite too much, more than they can chew. And it can be fun sometimes to challenge yourself like that, but at the same time, it's like, do you really want all those hours you put into your character to be thrown away just because you take on more than you can chew?
These will come.
You better be very deliberate with your challenges.
The lady, a fine service today, adventurer. As promised, here is the reward that you deserve.
Not sure if I'm flying over to Duratar to meet them, or if they're coming to here. Yeah, I usually like going at my own pace. So like whenever I group up with people, I get a little stressed out. You know, I need to get over it because WoW is a multiplayer game, but at the same time, it's like I do get a little stressed out whenever I get into a group of somebody. If somebody's going at like a really fast pace and I'm trying to keep up, and it's like I kind of like want to like just run around and go at my own pace. Especially these lower levels, but I don't know, you can solo all the way to level 60. I know it's a multiplayer game though, so it is kind of, you know, it's kind of nice to be able to team up with people. Let's go turn in that Undercity quest. Okay, and we definitely have to make sure not to fall on the elevator. I never have. Oh, why did I get the one that's arcane damage? I should have got int and spirit. Damn it. Fuck. God damn it. God damn it. Hey, what's up, Mist? What's up, what's up, what's up? Leveling mage. Trying to catch up to my warrior. Oh yeah? Yeah, I'm in total, like, degen gamer mode, and I love it. I mean, at some point I'm gonna have to get balanced again and be healthy, but short term is okay. Yeah, I don't know why I got the one with arcane spell damage. Yeah, she get the int. I can throw it right back up on the auction house. Probably gonna be on for like a while. I just got on. Like probably like at least 8 hours. I'm literally just getting situated. And I think I fixed the sound problem. It was a bunch of bullshit. I basically had to like change which input and output devices were using what, and not taking control in the sound control settings. So I think I fixed all that. Why is that an emote? It's like someone's face. You see that? Why is it an emote? Why is it someone's face, dude? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? Why is that when that guy's crafting, it shows this guy's face? What the fuck?
Greetings, adventurer. I'm a commendation officer acting on behalf of the Undercity. It is my duty to assist adventurers who have received Horde commendation signets. I accept signets in different quantities, but the most beneficial exchange for you is to hand in a set of 10 at once. I will enter your deeds into our records when you hand in your signets. As a result, you will earn recognition from the Undercity for your duty and service. Embrace the shadow. What is it? Trust no one. What do you require?
Lurking, lurking, lurking. God damn it, where's the mailbox? It's like... Okay, so... This arcane damage... I mean, I guess I can macro to it when I use arcane spells. But no, like, screw that. Wait, did I not even buy the arcane one? I got the one spirit. I don't know why I bought that one. I have no idea what's going on, dude. I don't know why I bought this one. I'm gonna put that back up in the auction house. Let's just scan the whole auction house, okay? Jesus Christ. Okay, what are we up to? Okay, I gotta finish this quest, okay? Getting in the zone. I'd rather go slow than too fast. Because if I'm gonna, like, you know, kind of lag around when I'm running, like take a while to, like, turn in quests and shit, that's not as bad as, like, going way too fast and then dying and having to start all the way the fuck over from level 1. So, you know, like, you have to think longer term. I feel like that's the right mindset to have for hardcore. You're playing a character, and if that character dies, it's done. So you gotta keep slow, and you gotta keep reminding yourself of that. It's just like real life. Every day you show up, and you show up to the fight. You know? Every day you show up to the fight. And you gotta remind yourself of the shit that you already know. Because if you forget about it for even a second, you can lose everything.
Ah, you are the agent sent by Magistrate Severin. Then yes, your business with me is crucial. I trust Severin has mustered someone suitable for my task, but we shall see.
There is a lich who dwells on the island in Brightwater Lake to the north. Although he is a free-willed Forsaken, he believes all other undead are scourge slaves and has his minions attack anyone who approaches him. But because he is Forsaken, the Queen will want him, and if he is skilled in necromancy, then his knowledge would be quite useful to us. To discover his identity and his talents, I must see his spellbook, steal into his camp and acquire it, then return to me.
Look like Yuna from Final Fantasy X. I'm a summoner. That's because I'm in the water? Shit. What is going on? Oh, it's someone's 10. I thought it was something 2. Okay. Okay. Oh, hey, what's up, Alexander? How are you doing? How you doing, Peepo? Howdy do? Sorry, I missed your chat. It doesn't always show up. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. For some reason, Restream has 2 different chats set up. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, you're journaling? Well, that's really nice. Yeah, journaling is really good. I need to stop feeling guilty, but there's like this thing where it's like, I haven't like actually sat down and journaled for like weeks, or maybe even like 2 months. But here's the thing is like, I feel like every time I sit to journal, I'm just going in circles over the same things over and over, and ruminating is not good. So I think at this moment, I really just need to take time to just chill the fuck out and play a fucking video game. Like, I feel like once you run out of all the quote-unquote productive things that you can think of, at some point you just need to be a degenerate. It's like if everything else causes you like harm, then the one thing that you think causes harm might actually be the beneficial thing. Really hard for me to accept that. Whereas it's like my idea is like, oh, if I just play video games, I'm wasting my time. It's like, that's stupid. And plus, I actually am journaling every time I talk on my stream. I'm just dictating. I'm talking. It's like not the same as like getting out my journal and my pen or my typewriter or whatever, but it's just another way of writing. And and obviously it's very different than my personal journals, but I feel like at this point, like, I've communicated with myself and with my therapists and mental health workers pretty much every goddamn thing that I can that I've been like can think of. And right now I kind of need to just like, it's like you're waiting for respawns is what it's like. If I want to put it in like World of Warcraft terms, it's like I'm waiting for repops and yet I'm jumping around getting all stressed out when there's no reason. You can just go AFK for like 20 minutes or whatever the fuck the respawn counter is. Like it's like refusing to go AFK and instead complaining about it in like the general chat or to your guild. That's what it's like.
Listening. Do not seek death.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get bags. That's what I needed to get from the auction house. I spent money on greens. And I should have spent money on bags. Oh well, I think the greens are gonna help. You don't need super crazy gear as a mage, but I think the small bonus to spirit and int can be helpful. Okay, I need to go back to Undercity. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna write it down later when I'm in private, when I have more focus. Right now I don't have any real focus. I kind of need to wait for respawns. Like, I think it's literally that. My brain is just fucked. And if I just try too hard to... It's like you're out of mana and you're spamming spells. You can't recover mana if you don't sit down and recover. I feel like that's what's going on. I've been writing and writing and writing, and it's like I'm going over the same things. And it's like the material conditions of my life haven't changed. I mean, they have. I mean, they definitely have. But like, as far as like the situations that are really fucking me over right now, I am already like documenting those. But like, I feel like I need to like really reset my brain. Yeah, all their productivities have been exhausted, exactly. Yeah, I need to take the time to just be a degenerate gamer every now and then. World of Warcraft hardcore, perfect. Absolute perfect. If you want to be a degenerate and make zero progress in your life, this is the #1 thing to do. So that's what I'm doing. This is the one time where this is the actual most productive thing I could be doing. Ironically. I don't know if #1 most productive, but as far as like if I put into account every single thing that has been like hurting me, I think this is what's gonna help me right now. Is just enjoying being a degenerate gamer and wasting time. And it's not waste. It's ironically not a waste. Because it's like, you know, like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to other people in the chat, I'm like gaming with people, like another viewer like joined me. And like, we played together and we were in voice chat and like he was talking to me about like stuff about life. So it's like, in the end of the day, like this actually isn't a waste of time. Of course, staying up for 20-hour gaming sessions is not the greatest. But, there's worse things. And, you know, especially since I already trust myself to not, like, let that take over my life. I've gotten too far in my life to allow that to happen. It's just not possible. I'm just too on top of my I'm too on top of things. Oh, people are flipping herb pouches like crazy. People are flipping herb pouches. That's 38 silver profit. People are flipping the fuck out of the herb pouches. That's a gamble, though. Dude, if I really want to make some gold, I need to level tailoring. I mean, especially in a fresh server, and also in hardcore, bags are always gonna make some bag because people are always re-rolling. They're gonna need more bags. Making linen and farming linen, I need to find a way to farm linen really well. I think what I need to do is I need to level up mage, which is what I'm doing, and I need to find a place where I can AoE farm linen for like hours at a time, and then send all the linen to a tailoring character, and just flip it all in the auction house. Like, that'll be badass. Yeah, right now I'm prioritizing gaming because I've tried everything else. At least nothing I'm doing seems to make a difference. And stressing out and wasting all my energy on things that I think matter when it doesn't. I need to take a step back, and I'm waiting for like life skills coaching and job coaching. I should wait for them, and then I can be really productive with a coach. The coach is going to be the one who's going to help me. If I try to like waste my time and energy and stressing out, it's going to make my life worse. It's only going to make my life worse. And so I need to like just chill the fuck out and wait. You know, it's really hard for me to do because I feel like I need to be doing something. I feel like I need to be working. I feel like I need to be productive. You know, and honestly, if we're going to be like kind of delulu, this could literally be a job. If I was able to like build up if I was able to build up my stream and get like donations and sponsors and shit, it literally could be a job. So I mean, if you really want to think about it, like it's not even like a complete waste of time. People can always like show up and give me money. So even this that I consider to be a complete waste of time is still technically not a waste of time.
Beware the living. I'm listening. Remember, patience, discipline.
Oh, I needed to get another linen bag. And I'm just gonna get when I can, I'm gonna get an herb pouch from the vendor. I mean, I could make this a job. That's the thing, is but like you can't really force that. It's more of a thing that like, you know, I'm just gonna focus on the game. Because honestly, if I'm gonna really think about it this way, if I'm not a part of the community in a genuine way, why would people want to show up and support me? If I'm just it's like I'm thinking backwards. If you want to think about, if you're a content creator, you can't really think of it as like my stream is what's gonna make me money. That's not it. It's like whatever community or product I make. And who knows? I have no idea what's possible. I'm not going to, like, live in a delusional fantasy, but at the same time, it's totally fucking possible. I mean, why do you think I started streaming 5 years ago in the first place? And it helped me work through a lot of stuff, like the kind of shit I'm talking about right now. It helped me get through everything that I was struggling with. It helped me get to the point where I needed to focus on, like, hey, I need to get my surgery. This shit's not gonna go away. Because I was just, like, streaming, like, 5 years ago in, like, June of 2019, and I was going nowhere. My life was fucked. And I was just, like, streaming chess, like, on this delusional trip that I could, like, make money for just, like, no camera, no microphone, really. Just streaming chess, basically AFK for hours at a time, thinking that people would show up and send me money. I mean, it's like that. I mean, when you see people streaming Twitch, those are the kind of things that pop into your head. After about a year and a half, that, you know, that shifted. I was like, okay, I need to think about streaming differently. This is more of something that I just do. Yeah, I mean, if you keep putting stuff out there, people are gonna notice, and hopefully something sticks. I have to, you know, I have to trust myself too, that I'm gonna keep, you know, trying things and seeing what works. And I know what works. I'm just, like, not quite ready to commit to things right now. I have a plan, but I want to wait until I can maximize that effort. You know, with the help of a job coach, because if I'm not working with a coach, it's like I'm not ready. I know it's like, you know, I used to think, you know, I've taken a lot of action, and I've gathered enough information, and I've figured out that I need to, and I've collected, you know, it'd be one thing if I was literally just waiting for no reason, but it's very different when you're waiting for a very specific reason, which is like waiting for an actual professional job coach who works with autistic people, who knows how to help me. You know, that's different than just somebody sitting around saying, oh, I need to wait until the right time when there's nothing going on. It's like, no, I have a plan. I have a very specific plan, and I need to, and it'd be stupid of me to disregard that plan. It's like you need to readjust things based on the current situation. And that's like the important thing to remember. When you, especially if you like watch like influencers, there's an influencer I watch named Devin Nash. And I'm subscribed to his Patreon. I've watched every single one of his Patreon videos, except for his Discord calls. That's like $15 a month for that one. But I don't watch. I haven't watched all those, but I've watched every single one of his $5 videos tier. And basically, when you watch people who give general advice, you have to take that information with the knowledge that you are using that as a, not as a replacement, but as a like, what's the word? As a supplement to your own specific plan. And I have a very fucking specific plan. I'm pretty damn smart. And I need to trust that I am not fucking around. Like, I know what I'm doing. I have a team of people that aren't gonna let me fail. It's just gonna take some time, which is frustrating me the fuck out. Because I'm like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. But like, they're giving me help. And I need to be patient. I mean, like, they're the ones who are gonna help me improve my life. I should be patient. It's just really frustrating. It's really hard for me to do. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's go farm the warriors. Oh, and then I should duel that warrior. Oh shit, did I not turn it? I went all the way to Undercity, and instead of turning in the quest... You know what? Let's just go farm over here for a while. Until my Hearthstone is ready. I can farm up some linen. And send it to my bank probably. And no, I need to save linen for first aid. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I need to think really long term. Like, the farming comes later. When I start leveling up tailoring and shit. Yeah, obviously I don't want to become too dependent, but at this point, I've spent the last 5 years trying to do things on my own. And I've had the help of, like, a therapist and my medical team. But I have been pretty much on my own. Well, here's the difference between a coach and a guru. A guru is somebody who takes advantage of you for profit. A professional who works with a non-profit organization that specifically helps people with developmental disorders is not there just to, like, screw you over. You know, and there's a difference between, like, a guru and a content creator. And that's why I follow Devin Nash. He actually works in the agents, and like he has like co-owns at ad agencies, the CMO of Novo, and he's very and it's one that's not all. It's because he's been directly connected to like the streamer sphere for so many years. Like he's connected to like Destiny, to like, you know, I think he's drifting apart from Trainwreck for some reasons. I'm guessing. I think I can guess a few of those reasons, but. You know, he's been connected to the whole streaming ecosphere for quite a while. So it's more than just his qualifications as like like running an ad agency. It's like, and also I just really like how he makes content. I can make my own judgments on people. You know, I'm not going to take everything as like, you know, gospel, but it's a good supplement to my own knowledge, and then I can take action. You know, that's kind of how I run things. Is I take all the information I can, and I choose when to step away when I need to focus on more important things. But I don't really discount things. You know, I don't. Yeah, I have a pretty open mind. I don't like discounting things just because somebody says, oh, you shouldn't trust this source, or you should, you know, everyone's trying to scam you. Like, that's held me back my entire life, is like when I've had family members who are always like, everything is a scam. Everything is a scam. It's like, no, not everything is a scam. Some things actually are beneficial. Some people actually do know what they're talking about. It doesn't mean everything is a scam. Just because somebody is making money doesn't make it a scam. Because they're like, oh, you shouldn't do that because they're just trying to make money. It's like, well, they got to feed their family, dude. Like, you need money. We live in a society where you need money to live. So obviously people are going to, you know, require money for their goods or services. Like, that's just basic economy. Like, but like, you know, I was kind of brainwashed by family members that if somebody is trying to make money, that it's not worth doing. That you shouldn't advance your life if somebody is profiting from it. Like, that's really fucking backwards. It's like, dude, we live in a community, and we're all we're, you know, why would people care about you if you don't care about them? And that's the problem with those kind of mindsets, is if you think everybody's out to get you, if you think everyone's trying to scam you. Sure, people are sometimes, but like, that mindset can really hold you the fuck back, because then it's like, as a kid, like, I wanted to join the chess club. You know, I wanted to go on, like, you know, do things like as a part of like extracurricular activities in school. But like, my parents were like, no, that costs too much money. But meanwhile, they, you know, they bought like, you know, like cable TV for like $80 a month. And I'm like, how come we're spending money on TV and basically I just go home and watch TV and play video games? It's like, why am I not being like a part of the community? And I don't want to blame my parents, but at the same time, like, that was a big deal. Like, it's like, come on, like, I wanted to like do things and be a part of, like, you know, the community, you know. But like, oh, we don't have the money for that, it's just a scam. That was always the, and it's because it's from people who grow up in like lower income households. It's not really just my parents' fault. It's kind of it's kind of a bigger problem. There's a lot of people out there who, like, if you don't make a ton of money, everyone who's trying to make money looks like a scam to you. And it's really kind of hard. There is kind of a disconnect between me and my family because I'm trying to pursue like a career in like skills that that are like important to me, like as like an entertainer, as a content creator, as an artist. And in order to do that, you have to put value on your work. And there's like this like stereotype, or there's this like delusional idea that if you're an artist, you're not a real artist unless if you're making money off of it. And that's stupid. You need money to live, dude. Like why the fuck would you sacrifice your well-being and your ability to just make ends meet just because you're an artist? And it's like dispelling that delusion is like really hard for some people. And it's like, dude, like I'm just playing the game. Like the game is that you have to kind of scam people, you know, and if they're gonna get scammed by somebody else. And if like I may as well profit from it as a content creator. If somebody's going to waste their money on, or, you know, they don't think it's a waste of money, they're clearly getting some kind of benefit from it. And if, you know, and maybe maybe they might, you know, ruin their life somehow, but that's not on me, that's on them. You know, give people accountability. Stop like making content creators responsible for a grown-ass adult's bank account. Like, you know, people who like, you know, harass content creators for starting an OnlyFans, for example. They're like, oh, you're taking advantage of simps or whatever the fuck. It's like, dude, like they clearly are adults who know what they're doing when they open up their bank account to OnlyFans. That's not on the content creator. You know, you're basically calling them, you know, it's like, if it's hurting them, that's not on me, that's on them. And like you're taking away accountability from grown-ass adults who should know better if it is causing problems. And if it isn't, well, it's their money and they get to decide where they want to spend their money. And I would be happy to benefit from that. I mean, I need to. Like, I need to make a living. Why should other people... Why should I like let some kind of imaginary delusional idea of morality of like, oh, well, if you make money off of this, it's somehow wrong. Like, no, it's not. How is that any different than making money off of your labor, like any other kind of labor? Like being a cashier or like working at a fast food joint. How is that any different than starting an OnlyFans? You're trading something for a financial gain. That's just basic economy. And to like and also to attribute like things like that as like, oh, you're giving up your dignity or whatever. It's like, that's not up to you to decide. It's like, yeah, nobody's making you do that. Maybe that's wrong for you, but like other people don't feel that way. I definitely don't. I feel like it's really empowering because it could give me the potential to earn a living and pay my bills and get the fuck out of the trailer park and on my own into a better life. Like, what the fuck? Why would people like blame me for that? Like, you know, get on my case about some moral bullshit that they clearly have an issue with, and they project that on everybody else as if everybody else has to have the same exact morals as them. And then like call me a bad person because of that. Yeah, I mean, it's different for everybody. And yeah, there is like a way to take advantage of people that is probably something that I wouldn't want to do. But I'm not going to like judge other people when it's like, yeah, like I wouldn't do that, but maybe it's not, you know, you also don't have all the information. That's the other thing. Is you're making judgments based on your assumptions. Like you assume that because someone's doing OnlyFans that it's somehow like this huge predatory thing or whatever. And it's like, well, have you actually tried to do it yourself? Maybe it's not as bad as you think it is. And it's like, if you haven't walked 2 moons in someone's moccasins, you know, you shouldn't be judging them. And nobody's forcing you to go do it. Nobody's forcing you, you know, I'm not you personally, but like the people who like, are very judgmental of like women who start OnlyFans and stuff, and men, but generally it's targeted at women. The vast majority of people who do OnlyFans are women. You know, assigned female and assigned male. It's, I mean, it's just how the market is. And you know, there's, you know, but like, you know, men do have a market, and they just don't want to accept that. They think that, you know, and I feel bad for a lot of these guys because they see themselves as not attractive. They see themselves as undesirable. And it's like, dude, like, have you ever tried to like give it a, you know, to like see if, and yeah, I'm not saying people should start OnlyFans. I'm just saying is like, in general, they think that they're unattractive just because they're men. They think that only women are attractive and that men don't get to be attractive. It's like, yeah, men can be attractive. Men can like, and you know, there are different standards. But men can definitely be attractive, and there's different types of attractive men. Some people are attracted to men with beards and hair and hairy chests. Some women are attracted to men with no body hair at all and no facial hair. Some women are attracted to like, you know, skinnier men. Some women are attracted to like taller men. Some women are attracted to shorter men. Some stockier or even fat men or balding men. You know, I know it's hard for some people to believe, but there are plenty of women that are very attracted to balding men. Out of shape balding men. I know it's hard to believe, but it is true. And because you're not willing, because these men are not willing to accept the possibility that they could be attractive without changing a single thing about themselves, they're setting themselves up to be upset. And it's really sad, like how men are like trained to not believe that it is possible for someone to find them attractive. And the same goes, you know, this is not just men. Like, this is the same with like, you know, women too. And I feel like more and more nowadays, men are starting to explore these things more and more. I'm really kind of, I really see it happening. Like with like, you know, in their own way, like men looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, you know what? I don't need to look a certain way to be attractive. I don't need to go to the gym to have, you know, to meet a girlfriend. I don't need to like, you know, have like this perfect high paying job that everybody thinks I should have just to like, you know, get social status or to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever the fuck. Like, men need to feel empowered by who they are. And if they don't like who they are, then that's different. That's something that they want to change on a personal level. And this is gender neutral. This goes for women too. Like, there's a lot of women, like, it's just been like kind of focused on, it's been around longer, like as far as like a social discussion for women, much longer than it has for men. I feel like I think like the past 10 years or so, men have been becoming more introspective. And it's really kind of like, sometimes it's like maybe a lot of guys might be going in the wrong direction with it, but like you have to, you know, you kind of have, you know, people have to, you know, figure this shit out on their own. They have to explore these things, and at least, you know, men are starting to explore these things, and I'm really kind of like proud of men, and you know, they're basically reaching the point that I feel like women have been talking about these things for a lot longer. And you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe men have been talking about these things, and I'm just, you know, I don't want to be like judgmental of someone just because I have this opinion of what men are. I have kind of a biased opinion because I've had a lot of negative encounters with men my entire life. And, you know, there is like a bias. Like, if you've only encountered negative people of a certain gender, it's really easy to start judging that gender based on that. And it's like, I've had, if even serial killers can find partners, everyone can. Yeah, the thing is it's about accepting who you are and realizing that there's everybody has a type, and you're somebody's type. And you have to really ask yourself, what do you want? And you have to be truly honest with that. And some of it is about other people, but some of it is a lot of it is actually about yourself. If you feel like you're not good enough because you haven't gone to the gym, then that's not about whether or not you can get a girlfriend. That's because you want to be the type of person who goes to the gym. That's a personal thing. That's a personal identity thing. It's not, you don't need to do that to get a girlfriend. If your goal is to get a girlfriend, then you should go try to meet people. And you know, it's really easy to say like, oh, I'm not getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend because I'm unattractive, or because I don't go to the gym, or because I don't do makeup, or because I don't do my hair. Or it's like, no, like if I really wanted to, I could go get a boyfriend. Literally all I have to do is install Tinder. And then I have to like swipe right like once, and I'll get like 10 DMs. Okay, so it's up to me to decide what I want. If I want to go out with somebody, I can't make an excuse of like, oh, I'm not anybody's type. I'm definitely somebody's type. Because last time I had to uninstall Tinder because I don't really date. And it just feels like kind of dangerous to me. But when I had Tinder installed, and this was before my facial surgery and before my bottom surgery, I felt really ugly, and other people didn't. That's the thing, is other people found me attractive. So the reason I got facial surgery wasn't for other people, it was for me. Men can't really do that. I beg to differ. It's just a matter of what you want. If men are holding up their standards as they only want like supermodel girlfriends, then all they're gonna see are like 3s and 4s. If all they want is like 8, 9, 10s, all they're gonna see are 3 and 4s, even when those women are 10s. Because in their mind, a 10 is a certain limited thing, and it's because I feel like it's because of fear. They're afraid of being in a successful relationship. And it's easier to say, oh, well, I don't want to be with these women, than it is to say, you know what? I want to focus on myself right now. I want to focus on my health and fitness and my career. I want to focus on that. And if you have to decide, like, if you really want a partner, you can find a partner. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You can find a partner. It's just a matter of if you want that. And you might not want it. You might think you do, but you might actually not want it. Because there's more, I mean, because I don't want to be dating. I could like just open up Tinder and start finding like 20 fucking dudes immediately in my DMs wanting to hook up. But I have to ask myself, do I really want to go meet these guys? Do I want to put the energy out and a lot of it isn't because like I fear these men. It's because I fear like is that really what I want to be doing right now? Is that really something that I want to commit to? Do I, it is fear, and I'm just not willing to do that. And maybe that'll change, but right now I don't really feel a desire to go date, which means that I have to accept the repercussions of that. But it might be different for men who but you have to ask yourself, like, women do this too. They'll like look at men on the apps and they'll say, oh, look at all these undesirable men. They're really creepy. Like all these fill in the blanks, etc. Maybe they're not creepy. Maybe it's easier to think they're creepy because you really don't want to go out and put yourself out there. And I understand, because it's really fucking risky. So it's a little bit different as a woman, and I'm kind of finding this out more and more as I go along. Living as a woman, I kind of had to have like a fucking around and find out period of time. But it's really like it's gonna be the same for men in a different way. Maybe not in that specific way, but like there's gonna be different things that men will find excuses for. They're like, oh, well, I don't want to hook up with a woman who's going to judge me for playing World of Warcraft. Okay, well, There's plenty of women who play World of Warcraft. Maybe you're just looking for the wrong people. You know, do you really want a World of Warcraft girlfriend? You probably think you do, but you might not. Maybe you want to find somebody who has shared interests that doesn't judge you for what your interests are, but might not share those interests. And it's like you're not giving people the chance because it's easier to say, oh, I don't want to date this chick because she's too fat. I don't want to date this chick because she's like a liberal or whatever. Like, all of these labels that you're putting on it makes it so much easier to delete the app and stay home and play video games. All these excuses make it easier to convince yourself that you don't actually want to date. And so if you really want to date someone, it's not about lowering your standards. It's about realizing that the standards you're setting are insanely high that nobody can meet. Even if somebody is objectively a 10 out of 10, you're going to find some excuse of why they're a 3 out of 10. And it's hard because in your mind, you're so convinced that what you think is true. And you have to really challenge yourself. What do you truly want in life? And if you don't want something, then be truthful about it. Yeah, Tinder is definitely not necessarily definitely not the best avenue for finding long-term relationships. Tinder is for hooking up. It's for dating. Period. If you go into Tinder trying to find a long-term relationship, you've already lost. Because long-term relationships are something you build. It's not something you go into from the get-go. Yeah, like some people are like, I want to find a marriage. Well, then you have to find an app that's literally like that kind of, like, people looking for that. Tinder is people looking for hookups, okay? Like, maybe going into long-term relationships, but it's like you're rolling the dice. You're basically trying to cast a wide net to see, like, you know what? I'm going to give the dating pool a chance and see what happens. It's like a random dungeon finder. Whereas if you're going to go like to maybe a different dating site that's like more about like long-term relationships, like, I don't know what like the other websites are or whatever. I don't date. Maybe that'll change in the future. But right now I'm living in a fucking trailer with my dad and I'm trying to build a career. Like, I fuck all that. I don't need to date. But going into like one of those kind of dating apps, or even just meeting people just organically, like by like, shared interests of like going out into the community and meeting people organically, and then, but you always start out with hello. You start out with like, hey, let's talk. You don't start, even if your goal is to get married, you don't start out with like, hey, I want to get married. You look like a good wife. Like, dude, like, think about it from like, dude, you just met this person and you're expecting this long-term commitment when you don't even know the person. And it's like, you like, start with hello, and then maybe you could be friends. Maybe you're both interested in hooking up. And take it one step at a time. When you make a level 1 character, you can't be going out doing like molten core. You have to get to level 60. You have to get your gear. You have to get your talent set up. You have to get your rotation all set up. You don't start out at molten core. You start out at level 1 in a starting city. So you have to start out every relationship at level 1. And then you might get boosted if it's the right person. I'm using like WoW terms. Yeah, I mean, if it's the right person, it might get boosted. Exactly. If it's like you really connect with somebody on a super organic level, it might happen really quickly. That can be kind of dangerous because maybe, you run the risk of being like you're both delusional about it. Like, you think that they're the right fit, but you didn't give it enough time to truly feel like, is this a person that I can actually truly connect with? Or am I just that eager to be in a relationship? You have to ask yourself what you really want. Do you want to actually be with that person, or do you not want to be alone? Those are two close but unrelated things. If your goal is to not be alone, then you should go like volunteer at like in the community. Like go volunteer at the library, or like go do like a community event, or go take a dance class or an acting class. Like if you want to not be alone, there's so many different avenues for that than dating. But if your goal is to actually meet someone because you want to like meet a person and you want to connect with a person, that's going to take a lot of commitment. It's going to take a lot of work. And you can't just meet that person because you always start at level 1. You have to do the work. You have to grind it out. And then, you know, but like I said, sometimes you get lucky and you get a boost because you meet a person and you immediately click. And you're like, damn, like we have the shared interests, like we really connect. Like I think this is going somewhere. And then you get boosted. And then, you know, the thing is in real life, there's de-leveling. So you could be level 60, fully geared, best in slot gear, but then out of nowhere, you find out that your partner is not the person you thought they were. And then suddenly you're level 1 again. Or maybe not level 1, but like now you're level like 45 again. And then if you really want to make it work, you have to ask yourself, do you want to grind back up to level 60 again? But now it's going to be different this time. Because now you're back down to level 45. And there's a new set of situations. You're different people than you thought you were. That's what I feel like. That's what like long-term commitment, like marriage, would probably be like. Because I mean, the thing is I could say I don't know what that's like, but we really all do, because we all have relationships in our lives since like early childhood. But we have this idea worked up in our head that romantic relationships are somehow different. They're different in certain ways, but like we cultivate, and I think that's a good word, we cultivate relationships. We don't get relationships. We don't get a boyfriend. We don't get a girlfriend. We build a relationship with another person. And sometimes that starts out with level 1 and then you never get past level 3. Sometimes you start out level 1, you go all the way to Molten fucking Core and then Blackwing's Lair. Okay? And I feel like if people just started treating things as in that way, they would be a lot happier. Yeah, evaluation, seeing what adheres to your personal code of conduct and also how much you're willing to sacrifice for the other person. I think that's another thing. Are you willing to look on the other way on things that go against like your comfort level? How much are you willing to look the other way? Not necessarily like look the other way, but like how much are you willing to compromise to make it work? And if you're compromising so much that you're hurting yourself, you have to reevaluate if this is the person, if this relationship is working. Just like your relationship with YouTube, or your relationship with World of Warcraft, or your relationship with Twitch. Like, you have to reevaluate, like, is this like what I really want? What is the reason that I keep logging on to World of Warcraft? What are the actual reasons? And it might be valid, but you have to decide if it's worth it for you. For me, I decided it's definitely worth it. I wouldn't be logging in if it wasn't, because and I'm not trying to say like I'm all high and mighty and better than other people. I'm just saying I'm at this level where I found that if I truly want to achieve a life worth living, I have to be blunt, like blatantly obvious with myself about what I truly want in any given circumstance. And once you know what you want, then it's a matter of just doing it. And it's so much simpler. It's not always easy, but it's so much simpler. And I learned that starting with finally setting my foot down about my surgeries. I was like, okay, well, what am I doing? If I know I need this, why am I finding every excuse in the book not to do it? And it would have been possible if I wasn't trans. Like if it was all just like some kind of like escape or whatever, like I was trying to make excuses, then I would have found that out through that process. But what I found out was like, okay, I truly need this. Why the fuck am I making excuses? And then once I started asking those questions, I was like, okay, it's because I'm afraid. And then I had to ask myself what I'm afraid of. And I'm like, are these things really things that I have a legitimate reason to be afraid of? Or am I just too afraid to take action? Am I lazy? Am I not willing to compromise? How badly do I need this? And it turned out it was life and death. So I really had to once you know something is life and death, then you have to ask yourself, how hard are you willing to work to live? And that's a much easier question to answer than, oh, you know, I might be trans. I might be just like needing to go to the gym. I might need to get a girlfriend. I might need to, you know, get a better job, or I might need to stop playing video games. Like, you're finding like millions and millions and millions of things. It's like you're starting with the symptoms and not looking at the root cause. And no matter what your problem, like, that's holding you back in life is, if you're not looking at the root cause, it's going to be an endless wave of guessing. You're going to be like, okay, maybe I can start going to the gym. Okay, maybe I can stop playing video games. Okay, maybe I can stop watching porn. Okay, maybe I can. And it's like, you're going to do this forever. Because maybe those things are the answer, but they might not be. And even if they are the answer, if you haven't answered the root question, what do I need to live a life that I want to live? Once you answer that question, then you go backwards. You go to the root and you work your way backwards. What do I need to live? You know, I mean, besides the basic survival bullshit. Okay, everyone knows that. Like, what do you truly need to live a life that you want to live in? Where you're not going to wake up every day hating yourself, hating your body, hating the fact that you haven't done anything about something you know you need to do. Which in my case, I needed a fucking vagina. And I knew that it was possible. And I wasn't doing anything about it for 13 fucking years. I was making every single excuse not to do it because I was afraid. And then I finally said, you know what? I'm going to make it really simple. Like, I need to do this or I can't live. And I know I don't want to, you know, that's basically, you know, and then it was an easy question to answer because I do want to live. If it becomes life or death, like, I don't know, if you're thinking about, like, I need to say this because it's like Twitch stream, but like, if you have these kind of thoughts about, you know, like, you know, ending your own life, please talk to a mental health professional. It wasn't necessarily about that. It's like worse than that. It's like living in constant hell because I don't want to die. But I want to live a life worth living. I feel like those are two very different things. But I feel like if I didn't do anything about it, I don't want to find out what would have happened. You know, I'm glad I did something about it. Because things were not good. Things were going down a really fucking dark place, and things would have not been okay whatsoever. I probably wouldn't even be here on this earth. So I had to make a decision. Am I willing to do whatever the fuck it takes all the way to the completion? And I answered that question, and now I'm here, and I did it. Not only that, but I got my facial surgery too, so I got some extra shit along the way. I got my facial surgery. Like, I was just trying to, you know, the biggest thing that I needed to answer was I need to get vaginoplasty. And along with that, I had to accept some things too. I had to accept that, like, you know, I am trans and no amount of surgeries is going to change that. But once you answer that, then you're like, okay, but it's the second, you know, obviously if I could wave a magic fucking wand and have my body as if I was assigned female at birth, obviously I would fucking use that wand. Obviously. But we live in reality, and reality has had this surgery, and, you know, it's a better surgery now, but like some form of this surgery has existed since the 1930s. And the first surgery, I think, was done in 1928. And it was nowhere near as good as it is now. It was really bad. There was, like, severe, like, you know, it was very new. back in like 1928. I feel like I researched it a bit. But, you know, it's like I had to accept that, like, you know, I am trans and nothing's going to change that. But who cares? Like, why am I letting that hold me back? Who the fuck cares? Am I willing to do what I need to? Do I respect myself enough to do what I know I need to do? Or am I going to keep making excuses and living a life that I don't want to live? That's really where, and you know, with me, it's the trans stuff. But for anybody else, it's like, what are you willing to compromise in order to reach your goals? And if you're not willing to do that, then own it. If you're like, you know, like someone like Asmongold, for example, if you don't want to improve your life, if you don't want to get out of the attic and playing World of Warcraft for 12 hours, 18 hours a day, then accept that and be happy. But if you don't want that, then you have to be willing to make changes. And if you're not willing to make those changes, then, you know, accept that you're not willing to make those changes. And it's like, I feel like you'll be so much happier once you start treating things that way. Because then it's like, now you're not playing this constant game of like, oh, I should be doing this, but I'm not. It's like people, I mean, here's another example of people who want to quit smoking cigarettes. Do you really want to quit smoking cigarettes, or you just think that you have to? And I think people should quit smoking cigarettes. That's really bad. It's probably like it's probably the worst thing you can do for your health besides jumping off a fucking bridge. Like, you may as well. Like, smoking cigarettes, like, that's gonna kill you. If not, like, it makes you smell bad, fucks up your teeth, fucks up your health. You're constantly coughing. Everywhere you go, you smell like shit. You go into a fucking building and you haven't smoked for 3 minutes and you're already shaking because you're going through withdrawals. And you have to keep going out every fucking 10 minutes to go smoke a cigarette. And then you come back in and everybody fucking smells you. And then you're coughing a storm everywhere you go. You can't stop coughing. It's just so annoying. But it's like, if you want to quit, how badly do you want it? Do you want to do it because, like, somebody told you that you should do it? Or do you want to do it because you truly want to improve your life and quit smoking to have better health? And if you can answer that question, you can quit smoking. Because after that, it's a matter of flipping a switch. Okay, these are the actions I take if I want to quit smoking. You can have and you can ask yourself how you want to go about that. But if you haven't answered what you truly want to do and what you're willing to compromise, it doesn't really matter what options are available, because you're not gonna be able to do it. You have to take action, and action is so much easier to take if you know what you truly want. Because it's like, if you want to quit smoking, there's several ways to quit smoking. Like, once you've made that decision and you're willing to make the compromise, you could go cold turkey. And that's what I did when I smoked for, like, when I was homeless. I smoked for like a whole year, cigarettes. I went cold turkey. It was really fucking hard. You go through extreme withdrawals. Extreme withdrawals. But then it's over. And then you don't want to smoke anymore. But if you're going through this back and forth of like, you know, I've been trying to quit, I really should quit, but I just keep buying packs. It's like, well, dude, if you keep buying packs, then accept that that's what you want. You want to be a smoker, and you have to accept the implications that come with that. If you want to be around people who don't, I mean, because if other people, if like your spouse or your friends are like, hey, I don't want to be around you when you're smoking cigarettes. Well, then you have to accept that if you want to smoke cigarettes, you have to, that you can't have both. You can't like eat, you know, you can't like expect everybody to, you know, bow down to you. If people are upset that you're smoking cigarettes and you want to quit because of them, you have to ask yourself, like, are you willing to quit just for that person, or is it more important to you to smoke the cigarettes? And it might be. Then you have to accept that you're gonna have to lose some relationships. And it's like, I know it's not pleasant, but it's true. If you're willing to accept the compromise, then, you know, it's as simple as that. The problem is when we start thinking that we can have it all. When it's like, okay, like I should be able, and it's like, yeah, unfortunately for, you know, I had to accept that being trans came with what I call, and this might be triggering to some people, but I don't, you know, grow up. It's being transgender, at least in today's world, it's social suicide. And you have to accept that. Is my life more important than my social life? And I, you know, that's just, it has to be. There is no question. Your life is always going to be more important than your social life. Even if you can't make a living, at least you're breathing and you're alive. And you know, the problem of social banishment. Social banishment, I think, is a better word than social suicide. Social banishment can be rectified if you find the right people. If society changes. These are things that, you know, I had to accept that, like, society probably won't change, but it has. Since like 18 years ago when I knew I was trans, it has changed significantly. The fact that I was able to actually get the surgery at all because insurance started paying for it meant that society has advanced since I initially knew I was trans and I needed the surgery. So you know, things like that can change. But there, you have to like say like, okay, well, am I going to wait for change or am I going to be the change? Because it's like, well, I can't, you know, it's a coin toss or like a dice roll, whether or not society is going to change. But what are the things that I can change? I could start hormones. I could change my name and gender legally. I could get on waiting lists for surgery. Those are all things that were in my control. And some of them weren't in my control for a while. Like insurance wasn't going to pay for it until like at a certain point that you know, modern medicine at least in California, in the United States, advanced to finally understanding through research, empirical data, that this surgery is life-saving. That it is not cosmetic. It is truly life-saving. It saved my life. I can speak for myself. But, you know, there's a lot more people than just me. And, you know, so I had to accept that am I willing to do this even if I lose every single person in my life? And I had to say yes, because my life is more important than the people I associate with. You can make new friends, but you can't rise from the grave. It's as simple as that. You get one life and you get one body, you know, unless there's some kind of like collective consciousness thing that we don't know about. You know, but you know, I'm gonna assume that we get one life and one body, okay? And I'm the one who has to live in it, not anybody else. And so I had to decide I need to be willing to lose friendships, and I did. I had to be willing to lose family members, and I did. But it was like, you know, it was something that I had to accept before I went into this. And unfortunately, I lived in denial for 13 years before I did. And I just hope that people, you know, a lot of people don't do that. They know from like a lot sooner. And I'm, you know, I'm really envious of them, because for me, I was really weak. I was really weak. I made every single excuse in the book not to do the thing that I knew I needed to do. Anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent on this. Yeah, and here's the thing. You know, you say figure, generally speaking, staying with family is fine so long as you're talking about what I was saying earlier. Okay. But, you know, to an extent, or to also what I was just talking about, some people they use an excuse of like, oh, well, I'll start transitioning when I start making more money. I'll start transitioning when I get a better job. I'll start transitioning when I get my degree. I'll start transitioning when Democrats control the House. I'll start transitioning when Democrats control the Senate. When Kamala Harris is president. Like, I have news for you. If you're waiting for some politician to be on your side, you're gonna be like that meme of like the skeleton waiting. Okay, because politicians do not give a fuck about you. They might do things that help you, but you can't count on that. You can count on yourself and yourself alone. And it's such an easy excuse because you're like, oh, I don't want to transition because of because of Trump. It's like, dude, if you're gonna wait for people who are like MAGA or Trump to somehow magically disappear, you're gonna be disappointed. You have to be willing to do what you know you need to do and fuck everyone else. Like, to hell with everybody else. And, you know, it's not just being like a trans person. Like, this can go for anybody with anything that they are avoiding in their life. And, you know, I don't know if people are susceptible or are open to hearing that. I don't know if I'm the right content creator to help people learn that, but it is something that I literally learned. It is knowledge that I have learned through direct life experience, and it has improved my life. And like I said earlier, it all comes down to finding out what that root thing is, what you truly want. And then as soon as you know what you want, you have to ask yourself what you're willing to sacrifice to make that happen. And you have to be brutally honest with yourself about that. Because if you're not, you're going to be jumping around from like quote unquote solution to quote unquote solution until the cows come home. Because there's always going to be someone, especially on YouTube or TikTok, that's going to say, if you do NoFap, your life is going to improve. If if you start going to the gym, you're gonna fix your life. It's like, no, you could fix your life like sitting on your computer playing World of Warcraft for 12 hours a day, eating nothing but pizza and Hot Pockets. If you do the right actions that lead you to where you want to be, that's all that matters. All this other shit is just a means to an end. And some of them are they're not a direct result necessarily. So like, if you start going to the gym, obviously there's going to be like some positives from that. But if you don't address the problems, going to the gym isn't going to fix that. Going to the gym is only going to solve a very specific set of problems relating to your health and your well-being. But if you're trying to if you're trying to go to the gym to fix your marriage, like, right? Going to the gym might help your marriage, like as like an accident. But if you want to fix your marriage, you have to ask what's going to fix your marriage. Going to the gym is like, it's like there's reasons to go to the gym because I want to be healthy, because I want a better looking body, and that's perfectly reasonable too. Because I want to meet people. Potentially even you want to make a girlfriend or a boyfriend, because you might even meet somebody at the gym. That some people, that's their goal, and it's not everybody's goal. So you need to be respectful of that, because some people, they just want to go to the gym for self-improvement because they know what they want, and it's a means to the end, and it works for them. But if you want to fix your marriage, you have to ask yourself what's causing your marriage to fail, and what do you need to do to fix that. And even couples therapy isn't necessarily the answer. It's a good fucking start, but like, going to therapy in and of itself doesn't help. Therapy is a means to an end. And if you aren't willing to take the actions that lead you to that solution, and the solution might be that there is no solution, that you have to get a divorce because there's too many compromises that both of you are unwilling to make. And if you've given yourself a fighting chance for long enough, and you both decide, hey, I think this marriage isn't working. We have tried to make it work, but I am not willing to compromise. And you aren't willing to compromise. So let's get a divorce. And sometimes you have to accept that that's the answer. I don't really think it's always the answer. You shouldn't immediately get to that. I mean, if you really want to make something work, you're clearly willing to make compromise. But at some point, you know, you try every single, you know, trick in the book, and at some point you have to say, okay, this isn't for us. But you know, and you have to like move on with your life. And it's not even about trying to find another spouse, because that might not be the answer either. Maybe you just need to be single for a while and find other things to focus on, because the marriage was getting in the way of that. And as long as you're very communicative with everybody involved, especially I think if there's children involved, you also have to make sure that at no point are the children says, you know, at no point is any of this like going to like try to negatively impact the children. And you know, and this includes staying together, quote unquote, for the children. Because what ends up happening is if you end up staying together for your children, you're setting your child up for a miserable experience. Whereas if you both had a mutual like divorce, you'd be able to make it work for your family. Like, you know, having like joint custody and like stuff like that. And like you'd be able to, you know, it might be rough, but it's better than making a failing marriage, like living a lie, you know. And it's just like this is like, it feels like it's common knowledge. I've never been in a marriage. I've never had kids. I can't have kids, but I've seen a lot of people go through this. And for me, I can kind of see it from an objective viewpoint. I feel like when you can see something from the outside, you don't know all the answers. But I do know some things, and I can see things in a way that they will never be able to see, because they're too lost in the sauce. I see it from an objective standpoint. I also see it from the point of view of being the kid who is parents going through a divorce. Oh, no, you can talk whatever you want. This is the chat. That's what it's for. I just kind of go off on my own shit. No, it's just sometimes I glance over at chat and I forget that it was typed a long time ago. But then I respond to it as if it was the conversation that I'm having right now. Like sometimes I forget that you already sent that like 20 minutes ago or some shit. It's like, come on. Not like it really truly matters. I mean, it's a blank canvas. That's kind of what I love about streaming. It's a blank canvas. And I don't even have to be streaming if I don't want to. I don't have to be playing World of Warcraft if I don't want to. And yeah, I'm not saying like I'm perfect, because I clearly have like a whole bunch of mental illness issues. But you don't need to, you see, I don't know what, see, people have this idea that if you have mental health issues, that for some reason whatever you're doing isn't working, because it is working. It's just a reality that human beings have mental health issues. And just because you're struggling with mental health issues doesn't mean that what you're doing is somehow failing. And that people shouldn't listen to you because you have quote, oh, why should I listen to you? Because you're like living at your dad's in a trailer. And I'm like, okay, well, I still have life experience that I know that other people don't have life experience with. In fact, there's things that multimillionaires can learn from me. I mean, obviously they can't learn how to be a multimillionaire from me. You know, well, I'll have to get back to you on that one. But there's something you can learn from everybody. Anybody can teach you something if you're willing to listen. Because everybody has their own unique life experience and they have their own set of knowledge that you do not have access to. And in certain contexts, even somebody who is a homeless person can teach a millionaire, a multimillionaire successful person, something that they didn't know about themselves or about their life and how to improve their life. Maybe not in the millionaire, category, but maybe a homeless person can teach somebody something about, some other thing. Like about like being okay, like, maybe it hasn't worked for them because they don't have like another set of skills. That just because you have deficits in one area doesn't mean that you have deficits in all areas. Because I have some superpowers that I think multimillionaires would feel envious of. Because there's a lot of multimillionaires who have huge mental health issues that I've already conquered. And they could learn from me. And they might even be lurking in my chat sometimes. Like, it's possible. Gandolfini. I'm just gonna go under the canon. I'm just gonna believe this. I have a viewer named Gandolfini that hasn't been here in a while. I am convinced that that's soda poppin'. Prove me wrong. I am convinced that Gandolfini is soda poppin', okay? Prove me wrong. But it's always possible. Like, you never know who's lurking in your chat. So like, I might have skills that some people that I wouldn't think need those skills are seriously like lacking and are like in desperate need of like learning. So it's like anybody can teach you anything if you're willing to listen. In the end, it comes down to the individual. Like, you have to be the one to do the heavy lifting. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Mental health especially, yeah, you can spend money on therapy and stuff, but no amount of therapy in the world isn't gonna lift a finger for you. You're the one who has to do the work. It's not pay to win. Mental health is grind to win. And that's why people who are super multi-millionaire successful people can sometimes be the most miserable people on the planet. They struggle with the same issues that someone like I struggle with. You haven't heard Soda Pop in a long time? I have, because I pay attention to OTK stuff, and also because I've been paying attention to the hardcore WoW scene, and he started up the OnlyFans guild again, and it's breathing a whole bunch of life into hardcore WoW. That's why I'm playing again. It's because the hype, and I'm starting to enjoy WoW again. And the content's great. There's great clips. Hardcore WoW is amazing for streamers. It makes great content, and the community loves it because they like following people's journey. And then if you die, everybody was there to see it, and it's clipped. It's there forever, even though the character's gone. So it's like it matches streaming, like on Twitch, really fucking well. Hardcore WoW is perfect for Twitch. And there's some great content, like, already. It's only been like 2 days or whatever since the fresh server launched, and it's already been so fucking crazy. Like, amazing content. Everybody's having a good time. Some people aren't, but it's like they'll figure it out. You have to have the right mindset to play hardcore, and I feel like I'm getting there. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. I think I'm getting the right mindset for it. Okay, let's turn in those quests. That'll get us to level 10. I need to empty my inventory. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like involved in like paying attention to OTK. You know, they have their issues sometimes, but like individual content creators or you know, everybody has their own individual. They're an organization, it's multiple people, and sometimes there's issues with some. It doesn't mean I have 100% issues or 100% acceptance. It's just, you know, they are, you know, the #1 like kind of content mill for like the streaming scene. And so I pay attention to it because I'm interested in like streaming and that scene. So I pay attention to it. And, you know, I pay attention to like Asmongold. And, you know, I don't agree with 100. And no, we talked about this yesterday. We already had this discussion. I don't agree with 100% of everything any content creator says. Obviously, if people see that you follow a certain content creator, they're going to come up with all sorts of accusations about what kind of person you are. And, you know, they're just really closed-minded. Like, I'm in charge of myself. No content creator decides who I am. It doesn't matter if that person is like the best person in the planet or the worst person on the planet. That's a judgment. And I'm just trying to follow things that interest me. And it changes. And like I said, if I don't want to do something, I won't do it.
We need to wipe the human infestation from the lands. According to the information, the Scarlet Crusade has assigned Captain Perrine and a brigade to the ruined tower southwest of Brill.
And also there is some kind of Delulu going on too. Like, you know, hey, like I can kind of if I, you know, posting on like OTK stuff, you know, maybe I can get some extra, you know, eyeballs on my stream and stuff. But that's not really it.
Is seeing to it personally that the scum of Azeroth,
I just like their content. Not all the time, but I like their content.
Glades, we face a particularly annoying breed of humans, the Scarlet Crusade. Venture forth and wage an offensive on the Scarlet Crusade adventurer. Bring me back 10 Scarlet insignia rings as proof of your loyalty to Verimathras and the Dark Lady.
You have performed your mission well, young adventurer. You are proving yourself to be quite an asset to the Dark Lady's army.
Harmless pumpkins, right? Or so it would seem. If we are to defeat Arthas's advances from the north and the human infestation from the south, we need to start realizing
Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
the potential of our gift of undeath. With a little ingenuity,
I kind of just like look at the surface level of like what people believe,
pumpkin laced with my latest formula,
and then see where I stand.
quite a treat. Yet another Scarlet Zealot has been captured and is being kept in the cellar of the Gallows End Tavern.
And yeah, I am kind of like a degenerate. Like I am kind of addicted to like, you know, social media drama. But you know, who cares? It's a hobby. Like who the fuck cares? Some people have different kinds of hobbies. Some people smoke crack. You know?
Take these findings to Apothecary Renferrel, who is stationed at the Sepulchre in Silverpine Forest. Follow the roads to the south from Brill. From the Undercity, go southwest.
Adventurer Anastasia Hartman has a task for someone of your talents. Speak with her in the magic quarter of the Undercity, and prepare yourself for your first task for the Mages of the Forsaken.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't. It's not the end of the world. I got over that a long fucking time ago. Other people's bullshit is not my own. I know who I am, and I know what I stand for, and I know what control I have over my own life. And I'm gonna try to make the world a better place for being here than it was when I got here. I know that about myself. I'm at least gonna try. And some people are like really cynical, and they see the world is on fire, and they just want to watch it burn.
Greetings. I'm an undead mage.
I don't think
trainer,
that's
and you're a
true.
mage.
Beware.
I don't think that's actually true. I think they're convinced that that's what they want. I don't think that's what they want. I think they're avoiding, like I said, they're avoiding the things that they know they need. They're making every excuse in the world on why they shouldn't do the thing that they know they need.
I have
You've
trained
got
you
all
in first
day.
aid techniques.
Embrace the shadow.
Oh yeah, Sprite. Dude, when I was like a teenager, I was like, I'm trying to find the things that used to really bring me a lot of joy. And I'm starting to get there. Now that I'm done with the surgery shit, I'm starting to find the things that truly bring me joy again. Like, that's why I'm playing World of Warcraft again. And now I'm much more responsible than when I was a teenager, but the joy of like things like video game music and like composing, like, and maybe I'm really hoping I get music back into my life, because being a musician and a composer, huge part of my identity for most of my life, and I feel like I used it, like I said, there must have been a reason why I put so much of my energy into so many things as an excuse not to admit that I was transgender. And the more I look back, the more toxic my behavior was. I realize, so it's not that the things are bad, it's that I was using it as a coping mechanism. And now that I think I can start exploring what about music is truly important to me, or am I just using it as a coping mechanism to avoid doing things that I need to do? It's not going to be enough if that's all it is. It's just going to hurt me. But I really do think, music is a very important part of my life.
Sweet, sweet pumpkin.
I just hope it comes back stronger than ever. Although since 2018, I have not been able to consistently practice my music instruments or work on music composition. I just haven't. And I will get back into it, don't worry. Yeah, holy shit, yeah, VST plugins are great. Yeah, do it. And you don't even, here's the thing is, like, you don't need to, like, buy a whole bunch of equipment. You could do it with just a mouse and, like, a keyboard. And a computer keyboard. You don't even need, like, a piano keyboard. But obviously, if you know how to play piano, even if you don't really need to be able to play the piano to use a piano to compose. It helps you, because a lot of music is just trial and error. Like, you hit a key on the piano and you hit another key and you ask yourself what it feels like. Like, how does that sound? It's not really something that you can, like, you can't really intellectualize it. You can, like, obviously we have, like, music theory and shit, but that's kind of just describing what already is. Once you start using it as, like, oh, you're using it as, like, I can't write this kind of chord because it doesn't work. It's like, yeah, it can.
so that our collective efforts might one day provide the Dark Lady with the new plague she so badly desires.
Patience.
Take these findings to Apothecary Renferal, who is stationed at the.
Well, I
sepulchre
wouldn't.
in
I wouldn't
Silver
count
Pine
on me.
Forest.
You gotta go take
Follow
it.
the roads
You
to
gotta
the
go take
south
control
from
of your
Brill.
own life.
From the
If you want to learn music, go learn an instrument. There's plenty of resources on the internet. If you want to learn a specific instrument, I might have a content creator to point you to. But mostly, if you can find somebody to help start you teaching. I would highly recommend, no matter if you're thinking of being a composer, even if you're going to use I would highly recommend learning how to read sheet music. A lot of people have a hard time committing to that. Learn an instrument. I would highly, if you want to just focus on composing, the best one you could probably learn is piano. That's going to be the #1 composer tool, because you can just easily play like chords. You can like hear how things sound, and you have immediate feedback. Obviously, if you want to play like a flute or a clarinet or a saxophone or a guitar or a bass or whatever the fuck you want to learn, if music is extremely important to you, especially if you want to compose, every composer would really benefit from learning piano.
I have exactly what
It is like the #1 composer's tool.
Goodbye.
Like, I had to learn piano for my music degree, which I still haven't gotten because I need like 2 classes. I finished all my music classes. I just need like some general ed. All right, now I gotta go to Undercity now and get my underwear. What was pretty sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking a break soon. I'm just gonna be finishing up. Gonna go collect this quest, turn in this quest, and I'm gonna head out for a bit, take a break from my computer screen, and come back fresh. End the stream and come back. I don't know, maybe later tonight. Maybe not. Maybe even in 20 minutes. Who knows? Yeah, I've been playing for about 2.5 hours. So I think it's like a good solid chunk, and I don't want to overdo it. And I start to get that feeling where it's like my head starts to hurt. And it's like, dude, just take a break from your computer screen. Gotta do some squats. In fact, I'm gonna do squats right now. Okay. Did my squats.
Speak quickly.
Very good, adventurer. I will study this book and determine the identity of that lich. You have served your queen well. Astonishing! The book you retrieved belongs to no one other than Gunther Arcanus. Gunther was a skilled necromancer in life. He and I were friends and comrades in arms before the plague.
Victory
And judging
for
from his
Silva.
book, he has grown even more powerful in death. His skills would be a great boon to us.
Long ago, Gunther and I, along with the now scourge necromancer Thule Ravenclaw, were friends and students within the Kirin Tor, a society of mages in Dalaran. Gunther and I both fell to the plague, but I thought he either remained dead or was raised into the ranks of the Lich King. It's good to know he is free. We must have him.
I've placed a spell on his book that, when he sees it, will show him that I too am free of the Lich King. After knowing this, it is my hope that he will join us.
Greetings, adventurer. You were wise to answer my call, and wiser still if you heed what I next say. The plague lands to the east are an aberration. Devised by the Lich King, they spread their magic into the soil, corrupting and killing all that live. Although there is a certain charm to the destructive forces of the plague, we, the mages of the Forsaken, believe it is unruly and must be curtailed. But first we must measure how far it has spread into Tirisfal. Go to the Balnir farmstead in eastern Tirisfal. In the garden are flowers, snapdragons. Gather these and return.
Okay, well, I'll be back later. I'm gonna turn off my computer and just kind of rest my eyes and stuff like that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.